ಮಾಡಿ ಬಟ್ ಓರಿಯಂಟೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಲಾಕ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಿದೆ. ಹರೀಶ್ ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ
one more person can sit. Amrita, come friend. What's your name? The one who's calling. Your name only. Huh? You are sitting right. Keep going. Hey, tell her to sit this side, this room.
Boys, come front.
Tanu, call her. Both of them.
Come front here. Boys, get up.
Sit here. One person sit in the first row, one more person in the second row.
Come.
Sit in the third row, Tanu.
Come side.
One person.
Come
Here, here. Tanu is sitting right. In that row, one person can sit. Sabah, don't sit there. Is still person anybody? Almost done. Sanjana Zubaita, come.
You can sit.
Chaitanya, come. Neha, come. That row.
ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ.
Shruti, come.
Good morning, honorable present here. Respected dignitaries, esteemed speakers, faculty members, students, and participants joining us both here in the seminar hall and virtually from different places. A very warm welcome to all of you to this special occasion. National Ayurvedic Day 2025, being celebrated at Padmashree Institutes of Management and Sciences in association with SVSI University. I would like to welcome our respected Managing Trustee, Sri P.K. Narayanappa Sir, Chairman, Sri Satish Sir, Director, Dr. Rajesh Shenoy Sir, and our beloved Principal Ma'am, Dr. Anuradha Ma'am, for this webinar. With great pleasure, I welcome our esteemed speakers, Dr. Muralidhar, MD, Dr. Rekha, Dr. Sharanya, H. We welcome you all with great respect and gratitude. We are absolutely thrilled to have such an enthusiastic audience, both here in the hall and joining us online. Welcome to each one of you. Every year, National Ayurvedic Day is observed to commemorate the birth anniversary of Lord Dhanvantari, regarded as god of medicines and divine source of Ayurveda. This day is dedicated to spreading awareness about Ayurveda's rich heritage and promoting its integration into our lives for health, wellness, and sustainability. This year theme is Ayurveda Ahara, Ayurveda for people and planet. Ahara or diet is considered one of the three pillars of life in Ayurveda, alongside sleep and balancing living. According to Ayurvedic wisdom, food is not just for taste or energy, it is powerful medicine that influences our body, mind, and spirit. Proper food taken at the right time and in the right manner nurtures health, prevents disease, and restores balance in our system. In today's fast-paced Ayurveda reminds us that mindful, seasonal, and sustainable diet benefits not only human health but also health of our environment. Truly, Ayurveda Ahara is about nurturing both people and the planet. Before we proceed, let me take a moment to ensure that everyone is comfortable with the webinar platform. If you have any technical difficulties, feel free to utilize the chat box and our technical support will assist you promptly. Today's event will help us bridge traditional wisdom and modern nutrition science through the insights of our distinguished speakers. Let me introduce our first speaker, Dr. Muralidhara MD, a highly respected Ayurvedic physician. He completed his BAMS from Gulbarga University and his MD in Kaya from Mysore University. He has worked as a consultant across Europe, the Middle East and Southeast Asia, spreading Ayurveda internationally. He is currently practicing at Shuddhanva Healthcare, Bangalore, and serves as trustee of Yoga Parinjana Pratishtana. He is also one of the guru at Rashtriya Ayurveda Vidyapit under the Ministry of Ayush Government of India. Please join me in welcoming. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Respected principal and all the dignitaries and all the students and the faculty. So I begin with the top one, Arogya and Ahara. Very good. Okay, yes, that one. Okay. So this one, both of them. From Ayurvedic perspective, Arogya and Ahara. Let me begin with the quotation one. Arogyam Bhaskara Chet. Bhaskara is the sun god, solar system. We consider sun as the energy giver. He is a nutrition giver. He is the one we can see anything in the universe, what we have in this universe, especially in the earth. His heat makes changes, transformation in any kind of food materials, from the grass, from the seed to the grass and the fruit, vegetable, anything what we see, and also go to the humans or other animals or the other creatures, and it transforms and gives for the this program. I remember that. And another one is Ahara Shuddha Shatva Shuddhi. Our clarity in mind happens if our food is good, and if our clarity in thoughts are fine, then our memory will be good. If our memory is good, we will be free from all kinds of bondings. So we have a lot of confusions about what is right, what is wrong. All this clarity we get about ourselves or with others, society or other whole being or the whole environment, that we will I have to be in a specific position. Okay. So for that purpose, we have to have a good food that will make us clear. If I ask you to draw a picture, generally, similarly, do you have any notebook? No notebook. If I ask you to imagine draw a picture, what do you do? Can you just imagine? Someone can explain what picture you draw? Just imagine. Anybody can say? One can say. So usually we draw a picture means the mountain will be there, sun is coming up, so there's some river is flowing, a wind is blowing. That kind of picture immediately will come to in our mind, and we do. That means we are interconnected with the nature. Nature, we are interconnected. So the next slide says about Yatpinde Tatpramande. Whatever there in the universe, it is in you, and whatever in you is there in the universe. So we are interconnected. That's why this word has been used. With this background, that's what we call it as the 5 elements. The Panchamahabhuta we call it as. The Ayurvedic theory has been evolved. Ayurvedic theory has been evolved based on this science, the 2 elements which go to the one humors in the body. We call it as a Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Vata is mainly responsible for the transportations, and that may be any impulses in the body or carrying from one thing to other things in different parts of the body, and the fire or the Pitta elements in the body, it is responsible for the transformation. Whatever we see the transformation, as I said, sun is helpful for the transformation of the things. Either energy or the substance can't be destructed. It's only undergoing transformations. Either any kinds of materials can't be destructed. It's only undergoing transformations. So that's what happens with the Pitta elements, Pitta humor. And the Kapha is the one which is made up of other 2 elements, water and earth. This forms. It is there. This Vata, Pitta, Kapha is not only for the humans, it's for the entire universe. You can see in the plants also. We can see in the area of health as per the Ayurvedic concept. We have a health at the physical level and the sensory level and at the psychological level as well as spiritual level. What we call it as a physical well-being, sensory well-being, and the psychological well-being and spiritual well-being. This is as per the WHO also, this is same, except that spiritual well-being is not mentioned there. But in the physical well-being, we have a structural integrity, or structural body part should be good enough. and functional part of it, all the metabolism, the digestion is happening properly, the metabolism is also, then proper excretory systems, where all the excretion like sweat, urine, the respiration should happen properly, and all the sensory organs and the motor organs functions well, that sensory well-being and psychological well-being. We should be always, according to the situation, we have to act. That our control over our emotions, thoughts, fear, everything. And also the spiritual well-being, transcending slow. Always be cool and calm, know about the situation. Coming to the diet part. So by naturally, as we see, we are like other being only. None of the beings, other beings, are not cooking food at all. No animal cook food, only humans cook food. The rest of the things they eat on their own. They see seeds, nuts, or whatever is there, including animal also, a lion or tiger, it eats whatever it wants. It never cooks. Only humans are cooking the food. So prior to that, our whatever we have evolved, from that point if you see, our original food is those seeds, nuts, fruits, and which can be easily, by looking at that, we have to feel like consuming. That kind of food is our natural food. So Gramyahara represent here the food which is, we are the forest dwellers initially, then we started settling in a specific civilization, started settling in a one particular place. There we started using conserving food, started processing the food, and after that we made changes. That is good also, that's bad. So bad when it happens, if you consume in an unwholesome way. When you say it is unwholesome, this, for example, compatibility is there. Food compatibility, we will talk about that a little later. The compatibility of food is not guna. For example, you are taking too much spicy, too much of salty. These kinds of makes a huge changes in the diet and creates a different kinds of sickness. That's why Gramya Ahara is considered as one of the sickening factors. This is mentioned as a preventive lifestyle. Before that, he is pointing out how to overcome this. So these kinds of incompatible diet causes malnutrition or sometimes obesity kind of diseases and leading to lifestyle diseases and physical and mental issues. Sometimes it creates a malnourishment also. People are like going for infectious disease. They're more common in this Gramyahara, that we call it as a unwholesome diet. So if we go to the food as per the constitutions, we consider the body constitutions unique. Everybody is unique. For example, if I have a family member, father, mother, grandfather, grandparents or children, the liking and disliking varies. Somebody likes some kind of food, somebody doesn't like it. Somebody likes more salt, somebody less salt, somebody feels it is spicy. This depends upon their constitution. Their physical constitutions makes them who they are, and their liking, disliking varies. For example, some child doesn't like milk at all. Because if it is in a kapha constitution, they don't like milk products, sweet and all, they don't like. They like more of spicy. But mother, what happens, milk is good for your health, you have to drink, it contains calcium, you have to force to drink. Sometimes some ad is coming. Meow, मैं बिल्ली है क्या दूध पीने के लिए, ऐसा ad will come. So that means they mix with Horlicks or Bournvita powder, then they put it in front of it, chocolate flavor, then child will drink. So this is a disliking is there for that kind of food, but still it consumes, the child will land up in upper respiratory allergies or skin allergies. This kind of issue happens. That's why we have to see constitutions, what's their liking, disliking, whether it's really good for them or not. Then we have to identify. So the water constitutions, they like more of warm, moist food, grounding food like soups, stews, cooked grains, root vegetables. Avoid. They doesn't like the raw and all things. They won't like. Dry food also they don't like it. Pitta, they opt for more cooling, juicy kind of things, or which is having a more sweet flavors. So hydrating fruits, then green leafy vegetables, coconut. So they have to limit sour and spicy things. The kapha, on the other hand, they choose light, dry type of food, warm food like bitter greens, slightly bitter and astringent taste they have to prefer. So we constitute based on the food majorly we look into the one is which quality they had and which taste it got. The taste will depends upon the different, for example, carbohydrate, protein or fat. Then other flavorers of that specific food makes the decision. So each 6 states is considered as the very important one. One is the sweet taste, sour, salty, pungent, and bitter. So these are the 6 states which is mentioned here. The liking and disliking also varies. For example, the sweet kind of food is good for the water constitution, sour also good for him. This spicy, bitter, pungent is good for the kapha kind of people. And each individuals are having their own individual constitutions, liking, disliking varies. It will not be one person has a one type of specific constitution. It's a combination of vata, pitta, kapha. You can go through the, maybe now the AA is more, you can go through the, find out about this constitution in the internet. So we have to consider 8 factors to be considered when the food and food preparations. These are all Sanskrit words are there, I just, Prakriti means nature of the food. For example, some foods are very light in nature. For example, if I take the rice, in that rice, if plain rice, if it is taken, it is easily digestible. If I make it a slight brown rice, or if I take a millet, it is difficult to digest. So the property of nature of the food varies from one food to other food. And the processing method of preparations. We can make that heavy for digestion or light for digestion. We'll talk about this when the food item comes. The processing makes the difference. We can cook it, we can soak it, we can ferment it. Makes the processing makes the food light or heavy for digestion. And the food combinations. Sometimes we make a food combinations. For example, we make a payasam by putting for the rice, milk we put it, and some jaggery or sugar we put it, make pudding. That is a combination. In that combination, once again, the good combination, compatible combination, non-compatible combination. That makes healthy or unhealthy. The quantity of food. Sometimes we can take very light food like poha or the puffed rice. We can take quantum-wise more. But heavy food we can't consume much. So the Rashi will, that quantity of food varies. What food we are going to take. For example, juicy foods we can consume more. Soup we can consume more. But the very solid, heavy for digestion like sweet or pudding, we can consume less. And the habitat, the place where we are living in. For example, some people might have been coming from the coastal belt and or the east or west side. Their food pattern is different. When they come to the city like this place, their food has to be altered. That's what we call as a habitat where they are living. That makes for their weather conditions you have to alter the food. And the time factor of the food. For example, childhood is different, aged people is different. When we are in the middle age, it's a diet is slightly varies will be there. Then Upayoga Samstha, the rules for food consumption. When to eat, what to eat, breakfast what to take, lunch what to take, dinner what to take. So in between, if at all feeling hunger, what to take. These kinds of consumption has to be referred. Then Upayog, the person who takes the food, when you consume the food, his constitutions or his age, all these factors to be considered. This is the 8th factor. Then general rules for consumption of food. So how we have to eat? Generally eat warm food, moist food, eat appropriate quantity, eat only after the former food has digested. Especially, for example, throughout the day, we can consume, even though previous food is not digested. For example, I have taken breakfast. Now I am going to have a lunch. Now time is 1 o'clock, this is the lunch break. Still, if you are not feeling hungry, you can take it. Night also same thing. But ensure that the next day early morning, if your previous food is not digested, it's not good. Because the food undergoes fermentation inside the body. When food undergoes fermentation, that kind of food is considered as something little toxic in nature. We consider as ama in nature. And the ama kind of food, this usually now present day we can see a lot of people having a fatty liver. Later they are into lifestyle diseases like diabetes, hypertension, cardiac problem. This is because of this. Because you see in the Bangalore kind of cities, people eat Sometimes they finish their business at around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, go home, have food, then go for sleep immediately. Get up early morning, once again pack up and either sometimes they have a food there or they carry. They may not feel hunger before taking the food. Hence, we have to ensure. So, previous meal, if it is not digested, especially in the early morning, like how to observe that previous meal digested or not. That is depending upon when you are having a burp, you should feel hunger, one thing. Second thing, when you are burping, the previous food smell should not be there. The burping should not have a smell. That's why you can check the drink water, you can confirm whether it's previous meal digested or not. Then you have to consume the food. Eat in a pleasant place, eat with all fond equipment, not in search of, once again, let me get some spoons or other thing, getting up from there, or getting some curd from once again. So everything, keep it right in front of you, then you can start eating. Eat with the loud ones. Do not eat very fast or very slow, or talk or laugh while eating. Be attentive in eating, considering your necessities and limitations. So some other food he takes more, let me also take more. No, you have to choose whether you like it or not. You have to make a selection of food. And eat in appropriate time when hungry, preferably after bath. Clean the hands and face. These are the age old. These are very got much importance during the COVID time. Washing hands, all this. Prefer all the 6 days. Change the diet according to the season. The seasonal diet also you have to make a change. What we eat, idli sambar in the morning, we can't say in the same in summer. The winter food should be different, summer food should be different. Maybe slight modification is also fine, but you have to ensure which season it is, what is the amount of heat, temperature, humidity outside, which doesn't cause much dehydration or thirst. That we have to ensure. Let us talk about few food items here. One is the people largely consume this rice. It's coming under the category of cereals. So almost more than 3.5 billion people consume rice overall. So this rice shows the predominance here. Nowadays, people are restricting, consume less rice like that, because it's rich in carbohydrate. People recommend. But it's made of staple food, and staple food has to be consumed at least one time. You have to ensure that. But the consumption should be depending on how much calorie is required. Accordingly, you have to do it. So consider out of the cereals, best one is considered as this rice. So easy to digest. So it pacifies all the three doshas. Hence, it's more of sattvic also. It balances all the three humors. Lot of things will be prepared out of rice. We can make it heavy for digestion or light for digestion. For example, I have put here manda. Manda is a gruel water, plain water. So when you are having a loose motions or when you have a vomiting, at that conditions, don't go for once again rice or some other roti or chapati, that kind of food. Go for something which is easily digestible. Put little pinch of salt and take this kind of gruel water. That will be helpful. And next one is the peya. It is further slightly hectic for digestion. Maybe one time you can take liquid. When too much watery loose stools are there, go for gruel water only. When you have a vomiting sensation, the first left one there, we call it as a laja in Sanskrit. We call it puff food rice. So there is a mandaki or puri, that is different. This is different. So this has a slight blackish thing outside. This is quite good for whenever you have vomiting. When you have vomiting, don't go for any of rice or something. Take that one. Maybe put little rock sugar or little sugar. Put some ilachi powder. Take it. That's good for preventing you from dehydrations. Also, it will make the binding faster. Vomiting will stop immediately. This is the best one when you have a intense abdomen pain and vomiting. And go further like this will be next digestion. This is regular rice what we consume. We can make it heavier by having that usually the beaten rice, avalakki. So preparation made out of avalakki thin or thick one. Slightly it's contain external this husk covering also, like a brownish part of rice also sometimes will be there. It's heavy for digestion, you can use it. And the payasam make it further heavier and also. Okay. And things like this rice made out of akki roti, these kinds of things also heavy for digestion. Don't take these kinds of food when you have a GERD, GERD problem, when you have acidity, when you have abdomen pain. It is hard to digest. It increases the acidity, heartburn will increase, burning sensation in this part, or abdomen pain will increase. Don't take that kind of food. Go for a food which is lighter in nature. So this is how the food processed things make easy for digestion or heavy for digestion. For example, the consumption of these kinds of food, it takes time. For example, imagine that a person is going for a work in the field. His diet should be something different. He needs a very hard, not easily digestible food. If you take that kind of food, in between he can consume. But he has to take these kinds of heavy food so that he can sustain for long hours and his hard labor. And go for the millets. So millets in Ayurveda we consider as a food which is majorly used for the metabolic problems, obesity, diabetes, especially mentioned Trinadanya Manna. Trinadanya means made out of specifically these kinds of millet kinds of things. So this is reduces the kapha or the body in the body weight management will happens, and also it will be helpful in preventing the metabolic disease like hypertension, diabetes kinds of things. But what we have to see, like earlier mentioned, we can soak the millets about 6 hours to 8 hours and then cook it, allow then to ferment, then you take it, like something like ragi ambli. That is easy for digestion and also it's more nutritious. If you make a ragi ball kind of things, it is heavy for digestion. So what happens usually we get a people, they are accustomed to, in the rural side, they are accustomed to ragi ball kind of thing. And they used to go for field and work. Now here is the more of sedentary lifestyle, work in the office, but they can't consume. If at all they consume in a less quantum. There usually ragi ball is swallowed. But if he swallows, he gets a big tummy only. So that's why here avoids swallowing here, keep it in, let it mix with saliva, then he has to swallow it and consume less. So that will be easy for digestion. And made out of roti also, as I said, it is whenever the abdomen pain is there, gaseous bloating is there, not to consume. When you are able to digest better, then you can consume. You can make a various preparation like in rice, you can also make out of this. And the pulses and lentils. So Ayurveda always prefers moong is the best out of lentils. So moong is the best, easy to digest, and if you see the modern point of view, all has a more or less same amount of protein and other things. But he consider this is easy to digest. Whenever you are sick, better to take moong dal or khichdi or pongal made out of moong, he prefers. So rest of the time, for example, we make the wooden preparation like dosa or idli. That is also very good fermented as well as easy for digestion, more nutritious also, more balanced kind of diet. So sprouts recommendation is there, but not for vata or pitta personalities. Kapha personality they can consume, ensure that it is devoid of any infestations are common. The H. pylori or other kind of infections are common. Hence you have to ensure, or sometimes you can cook and take the sprouts. So usually Ayurveda doesn't recommend much of these kinds of things unless and until you know it. For example, if you have metabolic issues like diabetes, hypertension, you can consume a limited quantity. You can make it something like the juice out of any kinds of lentils, especially the moong lentils and other things. That is also good for the summertime. Summertime when you feel thirsty in between breakfast and lunch, or if you're outside, you are into sports or gym or other activity, you can such kind of things. You can prevent burning micturations, to quench the thirst, these kinds of things. This is called processing of the food, makes that easy for digestion, assimilations. Then a lot of vegetables are there. So Ayurveda prefers most of the creeper vegetables can be said. It's a good for digestion and also improves your stamina, energy level. Contain good amount of mineral also. Then cucumber, beetroot, these kinds of vegetables has their own flavors, has a different kinds of pigments related retinoids, the things will be helpful for the humans. So consumption point of view, raw, better not in Bangalore. We don't know where it is grown. catches of infection is common, say. Except tomato or cucumber, rest better not to consume raw. Or when you have acidity, don't consume. When you have burning sensation, don't consume raw. Otherwise, you know the source, you can consume. Otherwise, better to take cooked vegetables. Where is grown is important, especially here in Bangalore. Sometimes Vrishabhavati rivers, a lot of people grow the vegetables. That's very risky. Raw vegetables should not be consumed. And green leafy vegetables, I will prefer this fenugreek leaves and amaranthus and chakota. These kinds of leaves are much preferable, like palak, sapsiga soppu, dill seed leaves. These are all highly nourishing one that has to contain a lot of minerals also, he recommends. Because we have to balance life. Generally, if you categorize, there are alkaline food and acidic food, general. So most of carbohydrate related foods are acidic in nature. So these kinds of fruits and vegetables more are alkaline in nature. So that balances the humors. And in fruits also, I will consider this mango or jackfruit or the grapes or the good one, including banana. Lots of fruits, I will recommend its quality. Everything is there. It's a detailed science. I'm just briefing it out. And next about the dry fruits and nuts. So especially the fig as well as raisins and dates, another kind. These all can be soaked in water. And that can be given. Person is having too much of thirsty feeling. Like you make a juice and give it. So you can add put little pepper powder or jeera powder or elaki. And you can take it. That quenches thirst. Especially in the summer, this is an excellent drink. And also rich in fiber, helpful for the bowel movement when you have a constipation, good for acidity. And rest of the nuts, if your digestion ability is there good enough, then you can take a raw one only. If not, soak overnight and take it in the morning. You can mix with smoothie, add some fruits, dry fruits and make smoothie, and that you can make as a breakfast. Especially those who are diabetic or overweight, they can have a smoothie as their breakfast only. Directly go for a lunch. And the milk is, I will consider cow's milk is best, and sometimes other milks also is used more than 8 to 10 milks they have mentioned, where you have to consume buffalo milks, where you have to consume goat's milk, especially the person who is having a liver issues, obesity, the ascites or edema all over the body, they have to go for a goat's milk, that's preferable. Like cow's milk, cow's ghee, he gave you much importance. And a person who has a more of calmness in the mind, they recommend. Because if you have an early dinner and before going to sleep, you can have a cup of milk with little bit of ghee. It's good for sound sleep. That they recommend. And it's good for especially the milk and ghee made out of this one. Especially specify the pitta. That means whenever you have acidity issues or digestive system is weak, we can consume the ghee. So in that fat category, lots of oils are made there, sesame oil, sunflower oil, groundnut oil, like that. In that, they prefer health point of view to balance the vata, he prefers the sesame oil. Sesame oil you can use externally also, you can use it, internal consumption also, you can use it. And also the ghee is considered as a bed. Those who would like to have a good memory, intellect, he recommends the ghee consumption. Because what this the brain usually have a affinity towards the fat. They can retention, recall with this, again medicated ghees are there. So he recommends Brahmi ghee and all, very good memorizers. So general consumption of ghee also is recommended. And Ayurveda doesn't restrict it to vegetarian only, it recommends non-vegetarian also. Different kinds of meats has been explained. Especially he prefers more of goat meat in terms of the best meat, especially persons who is having the consumption kind of tuberculosis, that kind of disease, where malnutrition, energy is deprived, muscle wasting is there. There he recommends the meat preparation. More of therapeutic point of view, they recommend these kinds of meat preparation, preferably in the soupy form and or in the grilled form. Especially as an energizer, he recommends the soup form. And different kinds of fish. In that fish also they recommend the rohu fish is the best one. So in the sense here, whenever he recommends that kind of protein, he recommends not to consume other kinds of protein, like milk should not be mixed with the fish. When you are consuming it, especially that first fish we have mentioned, There it recommends a highly contraindicated, causes skin allergies, skin diseases, hence they won't recommend. So it's a very common practice if you see in Bengal or Kerala, whenever they consume the fish, on that day milk product, they won't touch it. That means one protein, if it is there, for example, if it is a dal protein, not that the paneer and other things are contraindicated. If the egg is there, it can go with the paneer, will go with vegetables, or these kinds of egg will go with or meat will go with the vegetables, not with the another protein. Dal with other kinds of meat preparation is considered as incompatible, heavy for digestion. So it creates a ama or toxins, metabolic waste inside the body. And Ayurveda recommends, because sometimes we don't know what food to take, whatever there's in the family tendency is there, we keep taking it. We may end up in some problems. That's why the nutritional parts of Ayurveda, they recommend different kinds of rasayanas, that's immunomodulator kind of food that has to be consumed on everyday basis. Like Chawanprash, is a popular one. Like that, lot of Kushmanda rasayan is there. These kinds of layer to everyday morning consume, have a cup of milk, then after the digestion of that, you take your breakfast or lunch like that. So this kind of lots of preparations just majorly to prevent the disease and also increase your immunity against different kinds of diseases like present day cancer kind of diseases. So overall, we are talking about the food in terms of what we eat. Another kind of food is through our thoughts, what we see. This is also food for our sensory organs. And also our thoughts, this is once again for our mind and our inside soul. These are all another kind of food. It's a higher level. So there we have to have a good food for that and sensory organs or for our soul. We have to be like this, well-wishers of all creatures. They also have a right to live. Hence, we should not, we have to consider, they also right to live. We have to allow that. How much ever you want it, you have to take it. Don't waste that one. And also you respect them. Do not aspire for the wealth of the others. Truthful, peacekeeping, loving, peaceful and loving. Examine things before acting. So whatever you do things, then you should not repent. Before that you act. Enjoy wealth, virtue by not affecting others. Respect superiors, serve elders. These are all the philosophical thoughts, especially we call this sadhruta, rituals we have to practice so that it's common for any kinds of religion or faith. Have control over passion, anger, envy, pride and state. And being relaxed, respect other religions, devoid of confusion, full knowledge of the ultimate reality. With these few words, I'll conclude my talk. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening insights.
Any questions?
Participants, now the discussion session has been open. If you have any queries, you can ask.
Hello.
An online participant can drop the questions in the chat box.
Any questions? Yeah. Any question is there? This is only inspiration for you to look into the subject. You go it, you will get more details, because it's a course of 5.5 years of Ayurveda, and still we are learning. That's the end for learning. So when we practice, we give more recommendation for in terms of diet and other lifestyle management rather than giving medicine. Medicine is only a part of it, hardly 1/3 of it. Our recommendation is more on diet and lifestyle management so that people will overcome the problems.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to invite our Managing Trustee, Shri T.K. Naranappa, sir, and our beloved Principal, Ma'am, Dr. Anuradha, ma'am, to
ಹಾಕಿದಂಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ.
Just one. Today, I will listen the talk on let guess about the Ayurvedic. See, in life, Ayurvedic, how much important you have come to know this. Practicing these good habits, what's are told good diet habits and health practice. You can keep the distance. You can keep the disease distance. See, it's also told medicine is a part of life. It's not everything we should not depend on medicine. What is the reason for this is, if you don't have any proper food habits, food style and health habits, you youngsters, you have to face all this, you have to come across it. To tell me, I'm taking my example only. So far, I avoid going to these doctors. I'm already aged 90 years. But when I was a student, I never think of I've never visited hospitals because my style of lifestyle is different. Every day I used to go for physical activities regularly, doing 3 to 4 hours I was doing. For you people, it is not expected. See, it is half an hour, 1 hour is sufficient if you practice daily and maintain these food habits. There is no reason to visit the hospital frequently. See, sometimes all the day, I am receiving the calls from these different people. These people in the middle of night, they will say, I am suffering a headache, and stomach ache, and other reasons. But people who go out, though you are knowing all the things, studying all the things, you take the food from outside, how they are preparing, you will be not knowing. What materials they are using, how they prepare, you don't know that. But it is tasty, they will put some tasty powder and you will consume it. You will eat it. Then after coming back, this problem will start. Food ache, food poisoning, something like that. But please, what sir has told, food habits, diet and health practice is very, very important that we can keep the diseases away. And Ayurvedic also is so important in life. Even this, that B.M. Hegde also, though he is a medical practitioner, he is always insisting on Ayurvedic system. See, we people always, for any reasons, we go for antibiotics. See, consuming antibiotics, what the organs has to be do in the body, slowly it will stop its action. Then afterwards we have to go only for the antibiotics. It is not good for health. Avoid antibiotics, but only try to keep the good habits in food practice only. See what sir told, even morning, what are the fruits you have to take. You are spending so much of money outside. So much of money. But you are not using dry fruits or any healthy fruits. See, if you buy and keep the healthy fruits, and if you soak it in water, suppose kismis and badami and anjura, all things, if you keep it in water in the morning and you take it, it will be also satisfy this hunger and also your health. It should be but spending money for unnecessary things, for unwanted things, you can spend your money on good materials that will make you more healthy and strong, and you will be more mentally alert. If man is healthy, everything is up. No healthy, you will be down. That is the reason try to see, understand this. You are all in food science, but you have to seriously go all these things and understand what are the benefits and all. Even this learning also, what the procedure sir has given the demo, giving the models and telling the users and the benefits. For learning also for students, it will be useless. Simply telling something without any models. Anything to learn things better, we require a model. And the uses of all those things, advantages of all these things. If you get it, you will find so interest and you learn things also. Even teaching also, there should be a model. What sir has explained, every student is listening so calm and quiet and patient. This is the reason that what these models have presented and they have told all those things, what is the use and advantages, you will find some interest. Without telling him, simply I am telling ragi, godi, rice and other things, if you eat it, you have got this benefit. Eating fish, this is benefit. Taking milk, how much? See, simply telling all those things, if you give it in right models, it will come to your mind. Using right models for giving this training, preparation, education, that will be a better thing, what I feel. See, for the practice of all these things, even models, what the things, we should be properly identified and impress the things, students, so that they can take much interest. And they should not be just walking on this maroon. That is the thing. I thank you, the guest has given a wonderful talk, wonderful position, and wonderful orientation to our students, and thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was a wonderful advice. I hope all the students will inculcate these habits in your day-to-day life to improve your lifestyle ideas. Now, it is now my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Rekha Ji, a distinguished dietitian currently working at Oasis Fertility, Bangalore. She holds BAMS MSc in Counseling and Psychotherapy and an MSc in Clinical Nutrition and Dietetics. She has certifications in diabetic nutrition, sports nutrition, preconception counseling, and genetic counseling. With over 15 years of experience, she had worked across hospitals, fertility centers, and chronic disease management companies. She specialized in personalized diet planning for fertility, lifestyle disorders, and chronic conditions. We warmly welcome Dr. Rekha ma'am on the stage.
Good morning, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be a part of this occasion, that too in the place where I have studied. Thank you, Honorable. I have been invited to talk about bridging Ayurveda and modern nutrition, which connects ancient wisdom with modern nutrition science. So let us have a look how Ayurveda, one of the oldest system of medicine, which gives first importance to ahara, can be integrated with modern nutrition to create a holistic approach to health and wellness. So Ayurveda, which is originated 5,000 years back in India, is a comprehensive system of medicine that gives beyond just food. It looks food as medicine, health as harmony. Ayurveda is also a person-centered medicine. So, whereas in modern nutrition, food is seen as carbohydrate, protein, fat, macro and micronutrients, and even lab reports matters. When these two sciences, that is Ayurveda and modern nutrition, club together, they can give us a more powerful, holistic way of heal, nourish, and prevent diseases. Modern nutrition gives us calorie-based, RDA-based, evidence-based interventions, whereas Ayurveda gives us personalized, season-based, and lifestyle-based interventions. So, we are living in a time where nutrition-related disorders are exploding like anything. So, they are like diabetes, obesity, PCOS, cardiovascular diseases, certain cancers, metabolic syndromes, and so on. So, there is an urgent need for researchers in this field of nutrition. So, by that we can get better and we can give a better treatment for all these conditions, including nutrition as a base. Before clubbing these two sciences, we should have a clear, deep knowledge of both the systems. Then only it's possible to integrate both the knowledge and come with an effective approach without creating confusions. Let us have a look about some of the core concepts of Ayurveda, which are very much pertinent with nutrition. As Sir has already explained about the different concepts in Ayurveda in a brief, so that will be helpful in this. So in Ayurveda, we begin by assessing person's prakriti. So this is called constitution of a person, which is based on three dosha, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, which governs physiology and psychological aspect of the person. So these doshas, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, which are once again the derivatives of Panchamahabhuta. So the five elements. So each person has all these three, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, in different proportion, which makes him a unique person. So then the Prakriti, we can call it as an individual's innate dosha balance. We can correlate with gene pattern, person's metabolic pattern, and even disease pattern. So then let us understand about the concept of Agni, which is nothing but the digestive fire. It can be correlated with metabolic capacity. It governs how well we digest and assimilate nutrients. So strong the Agni means high metabolism, and weak signifies indigestion, which is leading to ama formation in the body. So ama, what is this ama? Ama, which can be correlated with endotoxins, or the end products of many of the biological cycles which are going in our body. So it is produced because of impaired digestion. So accumulation of this ama causes inflammation inside the body, leading to disease manifestation. So we should know that ama is not a thing, it's a process. So more the inflammation leads to disease manifestation. This ama can be cured, means this can be removed from the body according to Ayurveda through ama pachana, panchakarma chikitsas. These are the two processes by that this ama can be digested, and it will also resets Agni, that is the digestive fire. So it can be correlated with autophagy process and metabolic detoxification according to modern science. So next, Ritucharya and Dinacharya. These are the seasonal and daily regimes. So according to Ayurveda, prescribes a dietary and lifestyle adjustment with seasons and body's circadian rhythm to maintain a balance. These teaches us to live in rhythm with the nature. And also, these seasonal and dietary regimes specifically give importance to meal time, wake up time, sleep time to align with the circadian biology. So, these principles closely mirror modern chronobiology. So now let us have a glance on core concepts of modern nutrition, macro and micronutrients. So modern nutrition view food as macro and micronutrients. According to modern nutrition, our diet should provide all essential nutrition in right proportion to meet the body's need. Without adequacy, deficiency develops. So no single food has all the nutrients. So proper combination of the food is essential to meet all the requirements. So next is the energy balance and metabolism, which is governed by basal metabolic rate, physical activity, thermal effect of the food. Also, this also determines energy expenditure which is going on in our body. So next is dietary guidelines and recommended allowance. These are used to plan diet and to assess nutritional adequacy. Then the digestion, absorption, bioavailability of the nutrients. This bioavailability influenced by the food matrix and also by interaction, food and drug interaction. It may be food and drug interaction or food and food interaction. Next is nutritional biochemistry. With this, we can understand the role of nutrition with respect to enzymatic reactions going on in our body, gene expression, even the cell signaling. Then the disease-nutrition relationship. This is the concept of medical nutrition therapy. That is tailoring the particular diet according to the disease. Next is functional foods and nutraceuticals. The foods which are beyond nutrition that promotes health are called functional foods, and those food which are taken as supplements, like in the capsule form or in the syrup form, they which are related to pharmaceuticals, they are called nutraceuticals. So these aspects focus on food as medicine. Personalized and precision nutrition. This is very important, and there are many ongoing research on this aspect. It includes nutrigenomics, the role of nutrition, and the role of genetics according to the nutrition. Next, the gut microbiome and lifestyle. These are the things which are used to tailor a particular nutrition according to modern science, modern nutritional science. From this, one size fits all dietary guidelines, which can be moving to individualized nutrition care. In simple, modern nutrition is science-based, quantitative, reductionist in nutrition, which is evolving towards holistic, functional and personalized dietary approach. So when these two sciences are clubbed together, or whichever the aspect we can club together, so that can be taken as a research material, so that we can have a holistic approach in the nutrition field. So first one is personal and modern nutrition both stresses individualized diet. According to the research, this Prakriti is coined as Ayurgenomics. Next is gut microbiome and digestion. Modern nutrition gives importance to gut microbiota and its role in health. Likewise, in Ayurveda, it explains about the Agni, the digestive fire. It can be correlated with this gut microbiota. Also, it has been studied many Ayurvedic remedies influences gut flora. For example, classic herbal formulation, Triphala. This is having high polyphenols and fiber. These polyphenols are known for their antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties in human. And in human gut model studies, it increases by phytobacteria lactobacillus and reduces Firmicutes bacteroidetes. In short, we can say that Ayurveda emphasizes on kindling the digestive fire and cleaning armor, which is similar to maintain a balanced gut flora in modern nutrition. So next is circadian rhythm and dinacharya. By keeping consistent bedtimes, meal times, herbal teas, short fastings, Ayurveda aims to synchronize this inner clock with nature's light and dark cycle. This modern chronobiology similarly shows that fixed meal time and adequate overnight fast boost metabolic health. Next is inflammation and metabolic balance. This Ayurveda's dosha imbalance resonates with modern inflammation and metabolic syndrome concepts. So, which are all the challenges in validation we have to face to sync Ayurvedic principles with modern nutrition? Let us see. First and foremost thing is standardization of Ayurvedic principle. That is very much thing which has to be noted, so that with the proper standardization of this Ayurvedic principle, it can be taken to the modern stream so that it can sync, many of these principles can sync with modern nutrition. Then some of the traditional Ayurvedic practices which are based on doshas, which can be difficult to translate. So, there is also a different in philosophical framework with Ayurveda and modern nutrition. Lack of standardized diagnostic tools in Ayurveda. Without this proper validation and universal acceptance, and productivity in research is very limited because of this. Even though in latest researches, efforts are going on in genomics, that is linking Prakriti with genetic polymorphism. Some of these are the promising things, but these things are still in early stage. Next is complexity of Ayurvedic intervention. Next, the standardization of herbal and food preparation. Navigating through a regulatory body is difficult, as most of the herbs and practices are not well understood, and leading to potential difficulty in giving confidence to include it in mainstream. That is one thing. Evidence gap and limited clinical trials in Ayurveda, cultural and communication barriers, and the mode of disease manifestation, geoclimatic environment, plants, animals, microbes have changed through the age process. So evidence-based Ayurveda needs appropriate blend of modern science, rigorous trial methods, and observational studies. If we are able to tackle these challenges, it becomes easy to build a bridge between ancient Ayurveda and modern nutrition. In the meantime, if we encourage interdisciplinary education, that is including Ayurveda in nutritional field and modern nutrition in Ayurvedic syllabus in an effective way, will definitely help to progress in this field. And one more thing is that in one of the recent journals, World Journal of Pharmaceuticals and Modern Research, they have published an article in the month of June 2nd, 2025, that is Nutri-Genomics, bridging traditional Ayurveda wisdom with personalized nutritional science. What is this Nutri-Genomics? It is the integration of Nutri-Genomics with Ayurveda. As we know, Prakriti and individual unique constitutional makeup, which helps to determine appropriate dietary choices. This unique constitutional makeup now finds scientific parallel in Nutri-Genomics, which identifies significant difference in gene expression, biochemical markers, and hematological profiles among Prakriti foods. So also, this opens door to the development of Nutri-Genomic inspired foods and Ayurceuticals like nutraceuticals, and holds transformative and potential for the future of personalized health. So Nutrigenomic is an evolving field that bridges traditional Ayurvedic wisdom with contemporary personalized nutritional science. Thank you, Anurag.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And students, if you have any doubts, you can ask. Thank you very much, ma'am. And also, who's our alumni for sharing such practical and impactful insights on nutrition and lifestyle management. We are grateful for your valuable contribution. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Sharanya H.A., a renowned yoga and naturopathy physician and clinical nutritionist. She holds a BNYS degree from RGUHS and a master's degree in clinical nutritional dietetics from Padmashree Institutes of Management and Sciences. With more than 10 years of experience, her expertise spans functional nutrition, fertility care, chronic disease reversal, pain management, and holistic health. She is a certified fertility acupuncturist and yoga therapist, blending modern nutrition with traditional naturopathy. Dr. Sharanya is especially passionate about women and child health, guiding a new mother through lactation management and supporting healthy aging practices. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Sharanya.
Good afternoon, everyone. My topic today is career opportunities as a clinical nutritionist and food science expert for Ayush graduates. And I was there 3 months ago in your place, and I'm standing here in front of you. So thank you, ma'am, for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts. How studying a MSc or a BSc clinical nutrition or food science nutrition will impact, will help or will support the Ayush doctors, or why Ayush doctors should study the MSc or clinical nutrition or a food science nutrition in to add their knowledge on a medical nutrition therapy. So you all know what is Ayush is all about. Ayush is a holistic medicine which comprises of Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha, and Homeopathy. So you all are aware of it, right? So Ayush, a complementary system or a traditional system of practice treats a human as a whole. So it is a holistic system. Like we prevent, we treat, and we cure the diseases. So we treat the human as a whole. Like health, we all know that health is not only an absence of disease. It's like emotional stability, social stability, and spiritual stability. That's what all the other system, like complementary system, deals with. So it is a holistic perspective which has a strong foundation in natural healing and lifestyle related management. And we do have, like, Bangalore being an urban city, and we do face so much of non-communicable diseases, and India being the capital of non-communicable diseases. So we have so much of opportunity to treat the non-communicable diseases like diabetes, hypertension, PCOS, infertility, all those things. So that's where the Ayush comes into a picture. So why clinical nutrition and evidence-based? One thing, it is very easily acceptable by the modern healthcare professionals. If being an Ayush doctor, if I go and ask any MBBS doctor or any modern day doctor to refer the patient, there will be a conflict of interest, or there will be a conflict of ideas, like, or the treatment perspective, and they usually not recommend. But the modern clinical nutrition and dietetics, they have, since it's evidence-based and they know what you guys are studying or what we are studying, it is very easy for the reference, cross-reference among the modern healthcare professionals, that's MBBS doctors and the nutritionists. It is an evidence-based approach, and which complements the Ayush holistic methods of treatment. And it is like master program. Since I have studied, I know what is the curriculum. So we deal with, again, the anatomy, the physiology, the biochemistry, and nutraceuticals, nutragenomics, pharmaceuticals, all those things which complements or which studies again the holistic approach and which backups are holistic approach and the personalized care. So it is mainly a individual, it is medical nutrition therapy which is customized and individualized to the patients which can be given. So there is a rapid growing demand for the clinical nutritionist. So there is every year there is a hike in the job opportunities because might be you have seen in whenever there is a job profiles or job opportunities, there is a high profile for the nutritionists now because of ever growing like non-communicable diseases pandemic. So that is like it is growing market and with a decent salary. So how MSc clinical nutrition, why a Ayush doctor should go with, or why how MSc nutritionist can, mingle or, practice alongside with the Ayush doctors. Why? It has a scientific rigor. So that is like very easily understood. Like we believe in the three humas, Panchamahabhuta theory. There is a traditional theory for why the diseases comes, which is not easily acceptable and understandable by the public. So what the public understand or what the patient understand is carbohydrates, proteins, fats, minerals, vitamins. So that is like which deals with the modern nutrition is deals with the same topic. And we do have something called as medical nutrition therapy. As I said, all the Ayush system of medicines mainly deal with, correcting all this three doshas or, correcting the Panchamahabhutas. So it is like a whole circle. It's not like, you go to the Ayush doctor today, they'll give some medicine and tomorrow you'll be all right. It takes time. But in clinical nutrition, you treat the symptoms. So that comes a medical nutrition therapy and the professional skills. And you do have something called as counseling, behavioral change models, and which makes the patient to easily acceptable. So that's again puts on the feather to the Ayush stream, and it's an integrated approach. So you are blending like traditional wisdom with the modern science. So that's one thing. So integration opportunity, it is a win-win situation for both the patients. So usually what happens, once the patient comes to the Ayush doctors, it might be Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, or Unani, Siddha, Homeopathy. They'll not be with us for whole lifetime. So they'll come, they'll correct their diseases, or they'll balance their. We do give some medicines or treatments or any interventions which corrects their Tridoshas or Panchamahabhutas or yin and yang, whatever it is, the basic core principle, and we correct the root cause and we send the patient. And it is much difficult for the patient to follow the the naturopathy system of food or Ayurvedic system of food, because the patient cannot keep on eating like shalyana all the years in the mornings. If you ask them to eat only the milk rice, or if you ask them to fast, that is impossible for the patients, okay? So there comes a collaborative care. Once the patient gets discharged from us, it is the balanced nutrition which comes into a picture, and there comes a collaboration. So you can give and you can guide them, and your interventions can last for longer than our intervention. So it is a collaborative care and it is tailored nutrition. So you concentrate on what exactly the specific things the patient need. So it is tailored, customized, and it is individualistic, depending on the stages of treatment. And it has got a research synergy, as Madam said. Nutrigenomics is an emerging field, and nutrigenomics is an emerging field again. So we do have so much of ample of research opportunities and yet to be discovered. And patient education. So we do believe not only the diet, even the exercises, lifestyle factors influences one's health. So being a diet being a main important factor to maintain, prevent, or cure a disease. So your role in prevention or curing the disease also makes a part of a patient education. So the scope of work for Ayush and MSc clinical nutrition professionals. So one thing is, we, as ma'am again said, we do have some different diagnostic methods which is not easily acceptable by universally acceptable. Okay, so one is clinical assessment, your nutritional assessments, like assessing, diagnosing, intervention, monitoring, evaluation, all those things are clinically and universally accepted. So that is one thing we can pitch in clinical assessment. And Ayurvedic diet plans, see, whenever the patients are in under any Ayurvedic treatments, they have a specific diets to be followed, like before Virechana, after Virechana, Vamana. So they have, depending on their, again, the doshas and their prakriti, the diets are tailor-made. And once everything is corrected, they can switch back or they can cross-refer to the clinical nutrition for sustaining the diet, like balanced nutrition. So that is the Ayurvedic diet plan. It is like evidence-based meal plans aligned with Ayurvedic principles and clinical nutrition. Next comes community programs, mainly education, awareness among the community to prevent, treat the diseases. That is one thing. And product development. So you do have so much of the thesis, projects at the final sem where you will be developing the products. You will be doing the researches on it. That is like where the product development, where the Ayurvedic and the nutraceuticals can blend and be a product. So what one can be like after studying Ayush with the MSc clinical nutritionist is clinical integrative nutritionist. So where we know how to diagnose, what we diagnose, and how to come to a conclusion or diagnose a condition and what exactly to be given in the diet perspective, that is clinical integrative nutritionist. Food science developer, so you can develop new formulations, new products, which are a part of a nutraceuticals, maintaining, preventing or curing any particular ailments. Public health specialist, and you can be a private practice consultant. So benefits of having a master degree, one thing, it's both for everyone. We do have something called as professional license, and we do get a clinical experience, because once you are in the clinical nutrition side or in the food science nutrition side, maybe clinical nutrition side people have to go for the internships, so you'll expose yourself to the real world, how the nutrition plays a very important role in treating the disease or in the hospital setting, and it enhances the credibility. Excuse me. Sorry. So it enhances the credibility. So it gives a more confidence to deal with a patient or treat a patient, and it is a career expansion. It's one of the, you can ask for a hike in the salaries in your institution. So next comes emerging trends impacting this career path. It's a personalized nutrition. It's customized, personalized based on the prakriti. So that's what we believe, Ayush doctors, and what you guys believe in nutrition and dietetics is the symptoms, the deficiencies or assessment. So it is again individualized depending on their one's nutritional status. Functional foods, we can again think of many functional foods and nutraceuticals in prescribing, and you do have an authority to prescribe a nutraceuticals, but not a Ayurvedic formulations or prescriptions. So digital health tools, now this is like emerging, booming. Telehealth consultation, wherever you go, they'll ask for the nutritionist and to self-tailored main nutrition diet plans you have to give, client education, client feedbacks, all those things. That's a digital health tool. And integrative demand. There is many opportunities, and there are many doctors who wants to work with the clinical nutritionist or a dietitian in order to improve the clinical outcome of their patient or patients. And it is continuous learning because it's ever changing. Today, the trend is something else. The very next day, the trend may change. So, you have to get updated with the existing and the changing trends. Communication skill, it is always with the patient. So, you should have a strong communication skill to convince the patient to change their lifestyle. So, that is one thing. And communication among the healthcare professional, it is a task. You go and ask a doctor, no, instead of this medication, let me try with the diet. It is acceptance is a bit difficult. It comes with all the feeds. Acceptance is difficult, and how effectively you can communicate with the doctors matters a lot. And that's a communication skill. bridging perspective. So it is like all about misconceptions. See, we do have some negatives in our system. You do have some negatives in the system. So balancing those negatives and taking the strength of every system and making a one strong core of treatment or a module of treatment will bridge the gap. And now this year, that's what I was telling to ma'am also, there is a ban on online MSc nutrition. So all the paramedical courses, not only clinical nutrition, it's even psychology, everything, the UGC has completely banned online courses. So one has to go with offline mode to study and to get a degree. So that is one thing, so which makes the academics little more serious. So how to prepare and succeed? Choose accredited programs, so you can do your masters in clinical nutrition or whatever the field you are interested in, so that you can choose the accredited programs. Ask for internship, and this is your age to do the internship. So to get the scoldings and to learn. So this is your age. So seek a diverse internships. Do the internships, repeated internship in different hospitals, different industries, different factories. So to get a more exposure. Engage in research. Research is ever growing. Like it is always in demand. So try to be innovative. Learn and try to invent new things which can influence the health of a people. Build professional networks, connect with your local Ayush doctors, medical professionals whom they can cross refer for a medical nutrition therapy, and develop a core skills like patient counseling, digital health tools, evidence practice methodologies which will add on to your practice. So the summary is, once be a MSc nutritionist or Ayush with a MSc nutritionist, you will have a dual expertise. So like from where the patient is coming and what exactly to be treated and what the patient needs, that way we can treat. And it's in the leadership position. So Ayush with the MSc nutrition is always an add-on feather, because we know how other clinical nutritionists treat the patient or what the other doctors are expecting us in treating the patient. So it is a leadership position. Enhanced outcomes. We all know that when there is a more of integration, the clinical outcomes are more. Like when the patient is only taking a medication or patient taking medication, exercise and diet, the clinical outcomes differ. So it is an enhanced clinical outcome, and the patient adherence and the respect by the patient towards you or towards the system also increases. And there is a diverse opportunities like clinical, community, research and industry sectors you can work. So nutrition is like, it is a global network, like it's growing globally across, because every day, 3 times a day we eat. So food is something we cannot avoid. So the diseases also is something we cannot avoid. So that's what it is expanding globally. So global expansion is there. And nowadays, like me, like madam, we do have some acceptance with the MSc Clinical Nutrition, because that's why we studied here. We know the concepts, how the modern nutrition treats and how our traditional, and we know how to blend our wisdom with the modern nutrition. And so it is Irish doctors and even the medical doctors nowadays currently, they are accepting highly. And meaningful impact, instead of charging more to the patients, the doctors more are now concentrating on improving the clinical outcomes, so transforming the lives. And there is something like innovation trends nowadays, like past 10 years, like post-COVID especially, there is more influence on the nutraceuticals, like take Omega. Wherever you go, you will get those gummies, and Shilajit gummies or vitamin C gummies, biotin gummies. So the improvement, or one is the fearfulness of the disease among the patient also has increased, and the factory or a functional food innovation also has been increased. So there is a trending opportunities, billion of opportunities. So now what you have to do is, next once, if you are a bachelor or if you are an Ayush doctor, better take this as an alternate opportunity or a career opportunity, where first pursue your masters, and then you can do whatever you can lead the become a leader in your sector. So your journey to transforming lives through food and tradition starts now. So thank you. Any questions?
Students, if any questions you have, you can ask. Thank you so much, Dr. Sharanya. That was really a wonderful talk, like how Ayush, Ayurveda and nutrition will parallelly work together and what are the benefits out of it, the counseling. It was very absolutely good talk. And now I would
Okay. Okay.
I would now like to invite our chairman, Mr. Satish sir, and our beloved principal ma'am, Dr. Anuradha ma'am, for the felicitation, Dr. Rekha and Dr. Shivan. On behalf of Padmashree Institutes of Management and Sciences, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our chief patrons, our distinguished speakers, Dr. Muralidhara sir, Dr. Rekha ma'am and Dr. Sharanya for enlightening, impactful insights, and our respected principal, Dr. Anuradha ma'am, and faculties and students. I would like to appreciate all the participants for their active engagement, insightful questions, and valuable contribution throughout the webinar. Special words for thanks to the organizing committee. Once again, thank you all for joining us. Online participants can give